Everyone should value their life. Besides being very valuable, it is also very fragile. A man lives a healthy life, always watching what he eats and working out to make his life last longer. But all it takes is one small accident for him to die. All of his care and safety measures can only waste a few seconds. Because of this, life is also called a surprise whose length can't be set by anyone. We can sometimes be the thing that saves someone's life. You might have been standing on the road when two cars suddenly crashed into each other. What should you do then? Will you stand on the sidewalk and wait for an ambulance, or will you go to help the people who were hurt? The better choice is the second one, not the first. The question of how to give first aid comes up. Everyone should know how to handle a crisis or other serious situations, like an accident. Most of us don't know this basic information, which is a shame. It is the job of our schools to teach everyone the basics of what to do in an emergency. Aside from all this stupidity, there are many times when people save the lives of people they cared about without freaking out. One of these is related to what the story is about today. The story is about a little girl and her mother. The girl was only 5 years old at the time, and she saved her mother's life. It's hard to believe that the little girl knew what to do in a crisis. It was summer about 4 years ago, and it was too hot. Tracy Anderbold chose to go swimming at the pool. She took her daughter to the pool too. Both of them lived in Poland, Texas. She chose to beat the heat by going to the family pool to cool off. Allison, who was only 5 years old at the time, was her daughter. She was a smart girl who mostly kept to herself and didn't talk much. Her mother thought she wasn't sure of herself and was too shy to talk like other girls. The mother and daughter had a great day in the pool. They bathed, laughed, and played like there was no tomorrow. This happy time lasted only a short while. It was gone in just a few minutes. No one could have ever known that the fun they were having in the pool would lead to a terrible accident. Tracy Underwood had a disease called epilepsy, which means she had electrical activity in her brain that was not normal. She sometimes did disturbing things, felt bad, and even lost consciousness. On that day, while she was swimming, she had a seizure. She lost consciousness and fell in the pool. Tracy's head was underwater because she was so confused. The last thing she could remember is that she was in a lot of pain and dying in the water. The fact that she didn't die was a miracle. When she woke up, she was lying in a bed at the Christa Spohn Hospital Memorial in Portland. She didn't know why she was there. It took her a while to figure out that she was not dead. She was still alive and in a hospital bed. She also couldn't believe it. She wasn't dead. On the other hand, the family had set up a surveillance camera by the pool, and when Tracy watched the tape, she couldn't believe what she saw. Allison, who was 5 years old at the time, saved her mother's life by acting like a little angel. Allison went to the bottom of the pool as soon as she saw that Tracy wasn't moving. She pulled her mother to the shallow end of the pool, keeping her head above water. No one, not even her mother, who thought her daughter was not very sure of herself, saw this coming. Then she ran back inside and yelled for help. If Tracy had been underwater just a few seconds longer, she would have died. Allison was taken to the hospital, and when she woke up, she had no idea what had happened. Tracy Underwood gave an interview to the Caller Times. Tracy says that I was confused because they didn't tell me about it right away. Tracy's sister, Tedda, finally told her what had happened once she and her mother were safe on land. Allison, who is 5 years old, called her aunt Tendra and asked for 4 helpers. Tendra, Tracy's sister, called 911 right away and told Tracy's mother about Allison's amazing actions. Allison was able to do that all by herself, so it's a miracle that Allison stayed calm the whole time. She tried to explain what had happened. Tedra said that Allison has loved swimming ever since she was 3. She didn't know her mother had a seizure, but when she saw her lying lifeless in the water, she knew something wasn't right. It is amazing. She knew what to do too. Tracy also said that seizures can happen to anyone at the wrong time. I think it's everyone's job to act like Allison. If someone seems to be having a problem and needs help, it is everyone's job to learn first aid. No matter how many degrees you have, they are all useless if you don't know how to save someone or help in an emergency. Shouldn't this 5-year-old get a big gold star for her answer about the prop?